So I wanted to one video, and I think this is your most popular video on YouTube, is how do you grow your YouTube channel using
Oh,
video ads? And I personally, I kind of knew of the concept, but didn't really know much about it until I saw your video and the $5 a day strategy using
yes.
discovery ads. So I wanted to ask you, like, what kind of results have you seen, and who would you recommend these kind of ads for? Like, if someone is would you recommend this for someone who's brand new, or would you recommend someone who has like maybe like 10, 20,000 subscribers?
Good question. So I would not recommend it for someone who's brand new. I get a lot of questions on how many subscribers do I need to have, or do I need to be part of the partner program before I turn this on? And I think the first thing is tampering the expectations. I know I think I do an okay job tampering them. I know in the coming year we're going to have to be a lot more explicit to say, please don't think that this is going to skyrocket you, because it really isn't. It can be very expensive. And so to answer the first part of your question in terms of how large should you be, I think you should have at least 10 to 30 videos on your channel before you start any sort of advertising. And it's not about the view count or the subscriber count. It's more about the ability for YouTube to recommend content after you've paid for that view. And so something you can see inside of Google Analytics or Google Ads, I won't get too much into this, but you can actually see how many videos of yours people watch after they watch the ad. And so that's something that we pay a lot of attention to, is because we don't just want people to watch the video and then go on with their merry way, right? We want someone to watch the video and then watch one of our other videos, because that is a legitimate organic view in the eyes of YouTube. And so something that we do with our ad costs is we average the ad cost over how much we cost for the initial view and then how many we got on the second one. And sometimes we'll wind up finding that, wow, we're paying twice as much for this video, but people are watching twice as much more later on down the road. And so we'll keep paying this higher price because this video seems to allow people to continue to watch. And so that's why I look at it in terms of you need to have a certain number of videos as opposed to number of subscribers or current view counts. The second part to answer that question is you need to consider why you're doing a YouTube channel in the first place. I think if you have a business on the back end where you already have a product or service, then I think YouTube ads to grow your channel makes a whole lot of sense, because you're not just spending money on branding, but you're actually can be promoting content that can directly help in the sales process, like the content pieces we talked about earlier. And so I really like that strategy. What I am really wary of is people who just want to be YouTubers. Like, they want to be a YouTuber, so their income sources are going to be YouTube AdSense and then affiliate links in the description. As popular as my videos are, and as little views as I would get if people actually believe this, I don't think it's a good idea for you to spend your money on YouTube ads. It does not make sense. If you want to be a YouTuber, then spend your money on things to improve your content, or spend your money on creating some sort of revenue model outside of affiliate links and YouTube AdSense. And then once you have that additional revenue model, then go back and look at YouTube ads. But I think it's a cart before the horse thing, where you want to grow a channel and you're saying, okay, well, I'm going to grow a channel, I'm going to invest in this channel, and then like later on down the road, I'm going to have some sort of monetization. I really don't think that's a good idea, because I think you should know your business model and then invest in advertising, not invest in advertising so you can figure out your business model.
Right. Yeah, absolutely. I think a lot of people, even though they might have a hobby channel, they might not even care about monetizing, but they're so tied up with these vanity metrics that I need to get subscribers that they get desperate sometimes.
They really do. And I think the other thing too is that has to be part of the conversation is the CPMs, because the amount of money that And I personally don't share revenue numbers just because I am terrified of being thrown in the fake guru camp. So I just stay away from them at all. So I'm not going to share mine personally, but I will say that there are some niches on YouTube where you're going to be able to make 5 to 10K a month with 100,000 subscribers, whereas in another niche with the same 100,000 subscribers and maybe even twice the views, you're going to be lucky to make 1,000 or 3,000. And so one of the other things too is I think it's really important if someone wants to be a YouTuber and is looking to invest, you have to be honest with yourself about how much money your channel is actually going to make in the long term. And I think this is why I'm so adamant about having a business model outside of just YouTube AdSense, because I think it's really easy for a lot of people there are really large YouTube channels with millions of views and millions of subscribers, and they're pulling in numbers that are ridiculous. Like they're making 100K in like 1 month, right? But when you look at how many their actual CPM, if you do an analysis of that, you realize that it's not that high. You have to have that many views in order to have that income level. And so I think that's one of the other, and I bring this up because I think that might be part of why people are trying to just grow their channel. I 100% agree with you. Vanity metrics, I think, is number one. They look at their subscriber count, they look at their view count, and they think that their worth is based upon that. And I think that's a huge problem. Personally, I still do not look at the number of views my new videos get because it's only a couple hundred. I'm at 80 something thousand right now, but I only get a couple hundred views. Like you're going to be depressed for all of time if you tie your worth to how many views your video gets in the beginning, right? So right. I think that's something we have to disconnect ourselves from as entrepreneurs and YouTube creators. And then, the second point I'm trying to make is like whatever niche or industry you're in, if you're in a situation where you're looking at YouTube AdSense and affiliates as the way you're going to make money, then do some really, really hard digging and find channels in your specific niche or industry that are actually sharing their numbers, because a lot of them do now. It used to be a taboo thing, and now everybody does it because they get so many views. So it shouldn't be too hard to find someone in your niche and pay attention to how much money they make per 1,000 views, not total, per 1,000 views, and then look at how much money you could expect to make, if you're getting, 10 or 100,000 views a month. And I think for most people, unless you're in the marketing, business, or investing niche, you're going to find that those numbers are pretty depressing. And you're going to realize it's not a good idea to invest in YouTube ads to try and get to that, income level that doesn't actually exist. So realize that was a little off topic, but I just wanted to include that because I think people just have a really bad understanding of how much money they could actually make from AdSense. And that might be why they're gravitating towards spending money on ads before they actually have a revenue model set up.
Right. Yeah, absolutely. I think it's I guess if you're in the marketing or business space, the CPMs are higher because most of the advertisers that are willing to pay that money are like direct response marketers. So they know they're going to make that money back. One of my friends, his name is Clark Kegley. He has a very big YouTube channel.
Yes. I'm familiar with his channel. I've never met him personally, but I'm familiar with his channel. Yeah.
Yeah, we used to be in the same mastermind together. And he likes to call your ad revenue as just a tip in the tip jar. It's not your actual revenue or actual business, because he has a business in the back end. But that's a very good analogy. Don't think of, for most people, it's just going to be like an extra tip that you're going to get. But the potential is huge in the back end though.